Are you ready to go around the world? Sit back, relax, and buckle your seatbelt as we take off for an adventure. It's jet-lag free but filled full of fun and travel insights. The only thing you'll need to pack is a sense of humor. Time for the award-winning travel show, Around the World.
Hello, and welcome to Around the World with Arthur von Wiesenberger. Although he happens to be not here. Where is he, Martha? Did you see him?
Rebecca's sitting in for him. Rebecca Brand, and I'm Martha Bull. You see me most days.
Yes, Martha has been training me to be up here, and thank goodness, because she's a wonderful host like Arthur. I'm the newbie, and I really appreciate you handing it off to me today, so I can make all the mistakes and but have a good time with you.
The whole point is to have fun and learn a lot about traveling.
About travel. So many great places we're going to today. Yeah. We're going to go to Thailand. We're going to Scotland. We're going to La Jolla. We're going with Martha for your rafting
we're
trip.
We're going to Nevada, Utah, and Colorado.
Oh, wow.
Lots of fun stuff out there.
And where did I leave off? Because we're missing, in Hawaii, aloha. Yeah. So we have wonderful guests today. Okay, I'll go through because there's so many wonderful ones. We have Zachary Smith, who is this very energetic young man who's also an editor and works with me and has made this most rocking video about his time in Thailand. And he explores a different part of the country that you and I may not know, where we would put it on our agenda of traveling to. Zachary's done that. So it's so exciting to see his take on it, which includes some of the tattoo life in Thailand in an old-fashioned way that is not that we don't do here. It's an old art that he's showing us about, which is so neat, so different. The next step we have, let me see here. Monte Schultz, of course, Monte Schultz, and he has had a love of Hawaii since his father, Charles Schultz, who wrote Peanuts comic strips.
Snoopy.
From Santa Rosa, and he's taken us to his love of Hawaii, including some vintage photographs of he and his father in Hawaii, arriving to Hawaii, which is very cool.
I love that strip.
Real history.
We all grew up on it, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah. And from the 60s. And then we have Lin Graf with Randy and Paul, and they're from the Rotary Club, and they're talking about their boys' trip to Scotland, and they're all dressed up for the occasion today.
They look very cute, yep.
And then we have
I'm taking you hiking and river rafting, and taking you to Telluride, where they have some fabulous restaurants. Taking you to Lake Las Vegas. Who knew?
Lake Las Vegas.
Beautiful.
There's a lake.
Yep.
And then Tamara Peace and I went down to La Jolla, California, and she's really incredible about her experience with nature and hiking. And so she's going to show us a lot of those places in Southern California coastline of La Jolla, California.
Little known fact, I graduated from La Jolla High.
And Horton Hears a Who. You and Dr.
That's
Seuss
right. He lived
wrote that book,
just right down the street from me.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that funny?
Well, that's exciting. So stay with us, and we'll get to Zachary Smith in just a moment. go to Thailand with Zachary Smith. Hi, Zach.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. So happy that you've come and you've
Yeah.
shared your video with us, because I couldn't believe it when I saw the video.
No
It's
problem.
amazing.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
How long were you there?
Gosh, I was there for just about 4 weeks.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. So over the course of the last 2 years, I had worked various odd jobs, and I just saved up enough money to fund a passion project of mine. Mm-hmm. That passion project is a documentary about tattoos and tattoo culture. So I used what I had saved to travel to various countries around the world and film different tattooists and tattooed peoples and the style of tattooing and just the culture that surrounded them and how it differs between place to place. And by far the best place that we went was Bangkok, Thailand, where I got to experience the centuries years old tradition of Sakyant tattooing, which
Could you say that again, Zach? Say it slowly.
Three times fast.
So by far the best place we got to go was Bangkok, Thailand, where I got to experience the centuries old tattooing form of Sakyant, which is different from the traditional machine tattooing. It is a bamboo stick with needles on the end that they put between their fingers, and they do tiny taps to create the images. And by far the best place was to Ajahn Fluk, who is a devout Buddhist monk who spent years of his life training and learning all of these different practices and styles of tattooing. And here he's tattooing my hand, and when we found him, we had looked all over, and we wanted to find someone who was very devout, someone who practiced this and was more than just trying to sell their craft and actually did something to further themselves. And when you go to Thailand, you'll see people walk up to you with their books and try to get you to come into their shop to spend money to go there. But when you want to find someone who has dedicated their life to practicing this, and you can see here he lives in a place where he has various shrines, and he goes there and he prays twice a day, and he lives a very devout lifestyle to learning this. And you can see here he's very focused as he's concentrating on my hand. With each dot he's drawing a line. He does 1, 2, 1, 2, and each one creates a symbol. And contrary to what people may think when they're looking at this, they may think it hurts more than it usually does. But it's actually much more fast, and it's much more painless than you would imagine.
How long did that one take you?
Geez, I think it took me about an hour. And then also in between the time, I had a lot of time where I was waiting for my producer to arrive, so I was just traveling around Thailand alone in Bangkok, just filming the people there and trying to capture the culture, especially at nighttime. I went around and I filmed stray cats for a minute, and I like to go everywhere. You could see just everywhere is just popping with color and just beautiful architecture. This is an Airbnb that I stayed at with a family, and they just had a beautiful whole area where you could be and just relax in when you weren't in the whole part of the city. This is an area that was this graveyard that they had taken us to. The person who was running our Airbnb, that's very nice, his name's Mac, and he took us here to show us this wonderful statue in this park that we were going to. And it was just really easy for us to go around and walk around with our camera and to shoot these things and these statues, and it was very inviting. You could see again I followed around and caught as many stray cats as I could as I was alone in Bangkok.
Yeah.
So here, this man is a traditional tattooist. He uses a machine, and he is different from most because he has his own private shop. He doesn't have a lot of foot traffic, and when you go to Thailand, a lot of tattoo shops are trying to get you to come in with the foot traffic. Like I said, they'll come up to you with a book that has their work, and they'll ask you, hey, come into my shop, spend money here. This man had practiced for years, and he has a very specific style of tattooing where he uses dots and lines to accentuate depth. So he does a lot of black and white and very little bits of color.
And you're the patient here, is that correct?
No, this is actually my producer. His name is Brad Miller. He was the one that I was waiting for to meet me there. So when we asked him if he wanted to be on the documentary, if there was a tattoo that he wanted to do, and he didn't have anyone to perform it on, so Brad offered his shoulder to be part of the documentary. So there he is in grueling pain.
How long did it take?
That one took 2 days.
Wow.
That one took 2 days compared to my hand, which only took about 6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
it was
And
definitely.
you're telling me it doesn't hurt?
It hurts, but less than a normal tattoo. Because a tattoo that's normal, they're digging into you and they're scratching you and stuff, and you can deal with the pain. This one was much slower, and it was much more gentle because it's just him tapping you, with the tiny needles. It does hurt. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't feel amazing, but again, here's me in Thailand just filming at night. They have all just different kinds of colors popping everywhere, and there I'm on a tuk-tuk going to the Khaosan Road, where most people go. This man had a bar and a truck that he could just pick up and go anywhere, so he was just parked there.
On the streets, they can just sell booze on the streets.
Oh, yeah, you can walk around drinking and on the streets there. They have an open carry law, except for there's certain times where you can't buy alcohol in Thailand, but for the most part, you can open carry.
And so where's this? This is a village or a city?
This is a temple in Thailand. I can't remember which exact temple it was. It was in Bangkok, where I was allowed to go in there and just film some of the statues. So here we are finishing up my tattoo, as you can see. So the best part about this experience is that when you get this tattoo, each tattoo means something. In the West, we call them yantra. So it's kind of like a St. Christopher's medal or like a rabbit's foot. Each one is endowed with a blessing that would give you a specific sort of path in life, like good luck or a positive career or anything like that. And here you could tell me he puts a piece of solid gold on it, and it's a little sticker, and he clasps your hand and tells you to think about everything you want in life, and he gives it a blessing. And at that moment, my eyes were just darting around in my head, and I was thinking so many different things. And he gives me a necklace, and it's done. It was breathtaking. When he has you, gives you that blessing, you're just thinking of so many things that you want, and then that's how he expects payment. It's not really a payment, it's more of an offering, that he gives you this blessing and you give him an offering. It doesn't have to be payment, it doesn't have to be money, it could be anything. And he accepts it on behalf of his religion and the way he practices.
Wow.
Yeah, and
That's
it was
unbelievable.
Amazing to interview him as well, to hear the history and the story behind it. And there was a language barrier. But
I was going to say, they don't...
He didn't speak English, but he did have his brother there, and his brother spoke limited English. So the interview process was clunky, but we got through it. And we translated it, and he just gave us so much good footage to work with, and I can't wait to cut it into my movie and to release it and to show everybody.
Cool. Can you tell that where the end, where all this is going to be, Zach?
Sure, yeah. So this is a short festival film. I work with a nonprofit here in Santa Barbara called Youth Cinemedia, and usually we focus on films that have sort of a cultural or social justice aspect. It's a sidebar in the film festival. So each year we have students who make documentaries centered around social justice, and we release them. Usually it's about 2 hours of footage. And mine is going to fit in there for the culture side. We're trying to break the stigma of tattoos so people don't just see it as something that's a marking on your body and more of a culture that's attached to it.
Right.
So that's in February. So as I said, we've translated all our footage and we're just working towards cutting it together, and hopefully we can get a release.
Will it be in the Santa Barbara Film Festival?
Yes, okay. yes. It's usually on the last day, on Sunday.
And you're telling me at lunch, we had a team lunch, and you're telling me, Zach, that you actually took classes from Roger Durling, who runs the International Film Festival here.
Yeah, I took one. I took one class with Roger Durling. I took his film studies class. That's not how I got involved with it. Actually, the person who runs the nonprofit is also an editing teacher at the City College.
And the name?
His name is Osiris Casinetta, and he's just the greatest teacher there. And anybody who goes to the Santa Barbara City College and has been a part of the editing program or gone through has probably had one of Osiris, either his documentary class or his editing class. And he's definitely my mentor. He's taught me so many things about not only practical elements of filmmaking, but also the emotional and the I'm trying to find the word I'm looking for. It's not only emotional, but just like the way the effect you put onto it, and the culture that surrounds it, and the message you can bring, and the power that comes with filmmaking, especially documentary filmmaking.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful, and we look forward to seeing your film.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming, Zach.
No problem.
I love it. So lucky.
So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to Monte Schultz. And
Monte Schultz.
He's going to take us to Hawaii. Stay with us.
Unity Shop, celebrating 100 years of guiding low-income families to self-sufficiency. In times of disaster, no one responds to families in need like the Unity Shop. Immediate assistance with food and clothing, and long-term assistance providing anything disaster victims need to get back on their feet, all with compassion, with dignity, for as long as you need us. To find out more, log on to unityshop.org.
To Hawaii
My favorite.
With our guest Monte Schultz. Monte, tell us about you.
What about me?
Everything.
Okay. Well, I live in Santa Barbara, but I just bought a house on East Oahu because I love Hawaii. My mother lives on Kauai. She's been there since 1981. Has a huge botanical garden called Na'ainakai. And
where on Kauai?
It's south of Princeville.
Oh, okay.
It's off Wailapa Road.
So she wasn't affected by the
Hurricane?
hurricane?
Well, they always get flooding.
But up on the north part of the island, they got really hammered.
Which hurricane?
The most recent one.
Oh, there's always flooding.
Yeah.
Sure, they got flooded. Actually, the worst damage in Hawaii was done with the tropical storms in April. Lots of flooding in Honolulu and
Yeah,
flooding
I think
in
that's the one
Oahu.
I'm talking about, because my friends were supposed to go in May and they couldn't go.
Yeah, flooded,
Yeah.
destroyed, but repaired.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They're resilient. Remember, Hurricane Iniki went the eye went right through the middle of Kauai, and previously, and so they're used to it.
Yeah.
So tell us about your love of Hawaii and your trips to Hawaii, and look at some beautiful pictures that are coming up, so you can describe the pictures we see too.
Okay, so I went to Hawaii for the first time with my family. Oh, there I am at the Royal Hawaiian. the Hilton Hawaiian Village in 1964. We went over on the SS Lurline.
That's a cruise ship.
Cruise ship sailed out, Matson Line sailed out from under the Golden Gate straight to the Hawaiian Islands. We were at sea for 4 days. And I played shuffleboard and ate waffles and
What's this one?
And watched Jack Lemmon movies. That's when we just arrived. That's my Aunt Ruth in the dress, and my dad was back to us. You're at sea for 4 days. On the fifth day, you see the curve of the earth and the green Hawaiian Islands rising up, and then tons of ships and yachts and all sorts of boats floating out from the Aloha Tower to greet us as we come in, and it was fun. And then I didn't go back for 20 years or something, and then or less than I think it was 1980, 81 when Mom was going to buy her place, and went over there and saw Kauai, and then my boys were born, and we took them over when they were I think like 4 or 5 to the Royal Hawaiian, which I'd read about it.
The Pink Royal Hawaiian.
The Pink Palace.
Such an icon.
And that's
in the
in
Waikiki.
Waikiki,
right.
Yeah, one of the oldest hotels. And it's interesting for Santa Barbara people to know that the Royal Hawaiian, oh, there I am, Dad and Craig.
And your dad is Charles Schultz, and he created Peanuts, comic strip.
And there he is actually probably doing some drawing there.
So he's doing a strip right there on the SS Luring, huh?
Yeah,
And
Luring.
Definitely doing
what are you talking to him about, you think, in that picture?
What are you kidding?
Dad wins lunch.
Yeah, probably. Can we go play shuffleboard?
Are you done yet, Dad?
Yeah, no. Now you distracted me. I don't know what was I talking about.
So you were saying Santa Barbara and the Royal Hawaiian.
Okay, the Royal Hawaiian and the Biltmore were open within the same month of each other. Yeah.
But they're not the same architect, or
no.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
So it was the golden age of travel, those wonderful old hotels. So that's why I always stay there. And in Joan Didion's books, Slouching Towards Bethlehem and the White Album, she talks about staying at the Royal Hawaiian. So I always had to. I wanted to go there. And I'd gone over there a few years before playing in hockey tournaments. Yeah, the map. Oh, yes, that's in the Royal Hawaiian. I'm going to do a copy of it in my house.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to do it.
I think they redid the Royal Hawaiian about, 8 years ago, maybe?
Yeah,
I know who that is.
Yeah, that's Alexander Parent. She came to visit me in 2016. That's at Hanauma Bay. Yeah.
Hanauma
she was
Bay
very beautiful
below.
for 5 days. Yes.
Look at how
It's so
beautiful that blue
beautiful.
is.
I know.
And did you go snorkeling in Hanauma Bay?
Not there with Alex, but in a previous incarnation. I did a couple times, yes.
I've done that.
And then it started raining. It was pouring, so...
You're already wet, so it doesn't matter.
It was actually kind of weird, though, because my girlfriend at the time actually was throwing our our fins into the bag and leaving our clothes out. I go, those can get wet. Think about it.
Exactly.
That's at, okay, so that's at the Punch Bowl, the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific. Famous journalist Ernie Pyle is buried there. I always go see his grave. It's fabulous. Everybody here go to Hawaii. And it's a great view from the Punch Bowl over Honolulu and Pearl Harbor. Huh? So it's really fabulous. And then
Have you been to the memorial?
Arizona Memorial?
Yeah.
Sure, and the USS Missouri.
Right.
Yeah. It's a nice day trip. Oahu is really beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I bought my house at Lanikai. You can see the islands there, Namoku, Mokunui, and Mokuiki.
Is that the beach? Look at the beach. It's beautiful
Yeah.
white.
CNN chose it last year as the best beach in the world.
Really?
Yeah, Lanikai is a lagoon, so there isn't really a lot of surf. I mean, there's really no surf, so it's very smooth.
Wait, now where is that on the island?
It's on East Oahu,
Okay.
right next to Kailua.
Okay.
And there's Alexander at the Royal Hawaiian. which Rebecca knows. It's very beautiful.
Yes, and then where's this?
Oh, that's at the Biotoan Temple in the Valley of the Temples.
Beautiful.
It's a must-see. It's very beautiful. That's near Kaneohe. It's a very good, easy trip. You can even go from Honolulu, let's say Honolulu to the Biotoan Temple, Valley of the Temples is probably, I don't know, 20-minute drive. Everything's pretty close on east and central Oahu.
I like the north part of the island too.
That's my mother's garden when my boys were little.
No way.
It was just flat. There was nothing there, and they developed the whole thing. Yeah, if you're on Kauai, you go see Na'ainakai. It has public tours. Mom drives the thing sometimes. They have a lot of
You're
people
kidding me?
working there.
This public tours on her property?
Well, she made it. Had to make it a nonprofit so she could able to continue to build. So the house that we stayed in there is now a part of the nonprofit, and she moved it across the road to Wailapa, which has their own place there now. So it's really
What a nice place to raise your sons.
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, that's so romantic, Monte.
Yeah, that's overlooking Kailua Bay.
Wow. So what a nice, you're really bringing to our viewers the romance of Hawaii with these loving pictures. It's just so lovely.
Hawaii is interesting because it's one of the places in the world, like Switzerland, where it is exactly what you would imagine it to be. It looks like the photographs, and it's really beautiful. Here, for instance, when it gets hot, we just bake. Right there at 90 degrees, the trade winds, at least east of Oahu, are blowing all the time. Yeah. So it just never feels as hot. And it's really nice. And it does, you smell plumeria in the air, and it's really beautiful.
I went to Hawaii in March, and you get off the plane. I went to the Big Island. You get off the plane, and you're right. You just assaulted with this wonderful smell of flowers.
Exactly, right? When you get off the plane, it's like you have arrived
It's magical.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Maybe some of our viewers have some questions about Hawaii, and we can look it up. And also, Monte, we want you to tell us about what you do in town, because you're talking to our wonderful viewers here.
Oh, yeah.
What are you up to, Monte?
What am I doing? Well, I own the Santa Barbara Writers Conference. It goes on every June at the Hyatt. And I teach a workshop there, and we have speakers, famous speakers come in, and there are other workshops morning and afternoons. And I also write music, and I did a show.
And a few albums, right?
2 CDs. You can if you don't want to pay any money, please. Yeah, whatever you do, don't buy them. What? Anyway, you can hear, the group is called Seraphonium, Seraphonium, and it's on YouTube. Days of Us, or one record, and the other is called After Many a Summer. Lots of completely different kind of music. Got a lot of great performers on it. Lois Mihaly, who tours with Joe Walsh, Brian Mann, who plays with Kenny Loggins, David West, who's played with Chris Hillman of the Byrds, and a lot of really great people played and sang on my friend Sean Tees, really great singer. And this record, the next record, I think I'm just do most of the singing myself. Because I got tired of trying to teach the singers how to sing my songs. They're always complaining, can I make it my own? No, because it's not. All right.
Well, thank you so much, Monte, for being on our show today. You're a fantastic guest, and I'm so lucky to call you friend. Our old Santa Rosa days, way back when. It took us to Santa Barbara to really come together with a great friendship, and to be able to cook with you for a Charlie Brown Christmas in your kitchen with your kids and my family.
Thanksgiving too.
Oh yes, that's coming up.
Her kids are fabulous cooks. Incidentally, yes, they're excellent.
The apple doesn't fall far
they're
from
really
the tree.
Good. Yeah. They told her to stay out of the kitchen. Not really.
They do. That is true. So thank you for coming, and stay with us now, because we're going to have a whole team from Scotland coming up. Welcome back to Around the World. And we're going to go to Scotland next with 3 Scotsmen. Here we have in the studio today, we have beautiful Paul Wright, and that's with a W. Paul Wright, Lin Graf, and also Barry Intignap. And they've just come back, and they're from Rotary, and they've buddied up, and they went on a spectacular tour. Tell us about it, guys. And look what you're wearing.
Well, we could talk about the hat.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. We did go to a woolen mill that was down a real little country lane. The mill is maybe 200-300 years old. We were there early in the morning. Nobody was around. Finally someone came in. They showed us all the machinery and how it worked. And the result was that we bought, each of us bought hats that were designed specifically for the 100th anniversary of a troop transport sinking off the island in an American troop transport during World War I.
Is that one of the reasons you went there for this commemorative
No,
event?
we were planning to go up to the monument, but it just all blended together, and so we all came back with specific hats from that anniversary.
How many in your
It's a
group
special
went?
design.
There were-
Each color and each line means something.
It's beautiful.
And we asked who designed it, and he said, well, she's right here. It was a young lady working right in the mill that designed the tweed.
So it's
very good looking.
green for the island, blue for the ocean,
That's the memorial
and then
right there.
that's at the monument.
So Barry has the one from the monument.
Right.
It was a 100th commemorative deal, so 100 years ago. The monument that we went to was built basically all from stone. Now it's a nature preserve, and for the very first day in Scotland, we hiked up there. We saw rain, we saw wind.
Oh, here we have some pictures.
Yes.
Maybe what are these pictures?
Oh, those pictures. The
the
malting
malting
room.
room.
Lynn,
That's in-
what's we seeing there, Lynn?
That's the malting room, I think
Lefroy.
Lefroy, and that's where they.
Did you taste any of it?
well,
The
it
res-
ta- it
the
tastes
results
like
of
oats.
Tastes like
But did,
Tastes like
did you
barley.
get to drink the good stuff?
At the end of every tour, we were given
That's what we all wanna know.
a wee dram of a couple of their specialty items, and so.
Can we see the wee dram? Let's get the
Oh,
camera.
You think that's,
You hold
that's
it.
not a
Lynn,
wee dram?
Lynn, hold the wee dram. Let's get the camera on the wee dram.
Yes,
Mike. There we go.
I think the wee
So-
dram is about halfway
The
down.
dram is
Show.
25 milliliters.
It looks
Yeah.
like two shots
I
in
know.
America.
It's just
This
a
is
little-
no wee anything.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
And I think that's
It was
one of
all
the things.
fun. It was
That's
all
one of the
fun.
things that saved us because we were counting, exactly how much we were consuming at any one time. So if we hadn't used this, we would have emptied a lot more bottles than we
barrels.
did.
So we were actually at a very special place. We went to a very small island off the west coast of Scotland, the Hebrides. We went to the Isle of Islay, very small island.
Isla. Is it Isla or Isla?
Isla.
Isla.
Not Isla.
We got to say it with a Scottish accent.
Same length as Santa Cruz Island off here, but the island had 9 distilleries, all known for their peaty.
No wonder it's
smoky
floating.
scotches. Yeah, really.
Did you go to all of them?
We went
Yep.
to most of them.
We
They're
missed
all-
one.
Well, we
you've got
went
these
to
on
one
there.
2 years ago, so we didn't go
These
back.
are-
So we all the rest.
Oh my
That's
gosh! And
good.
these are badges from all of the. Look at
Right,
this. He's got a
right.
collection.
And then one of
He's
them,
got a
one of them is a
collection
distillery in
of
process,
distilleries.
but there was one that we didn't get to. It was too far away.
Oh yeah, you're looking
Looks
good.
good on that.
There you go.
You could go anywhere with that hat.
All right,
Very
I like
cute.
it. I might wear it.
Yeah.
That's sweet. How wonderful. So then so we always have to get together with Paul once a year to go over and discuss.
see how many
Did you
more-
buy
That's
some
right.
to take home from those distilleries?
No, actually, we've discovered that the scotch that we can buy here at some of the discount places is much less than the scotch that you buy over there.
Why is that?
Well, they do a lot of duty on it, I suppose, tariff. There are times, I suppose, if you were getting something that was not available here, then it might be worth bringing it home. But what we did bring home was the beautiful Scotch glasses, snifters,
Oh,
from almost every distillery that we went to.
are they the size of your?
A little bigger,
Little guy,
and
your
beautiful
reed.
glass, kind of tulip shaped, very nice.
with usually an etching of their company logo.
Oh, nice. So that you have those memories. That's
And
great.
it was, in many cases, it was a souvenir as part of the tour that you went on.
Right.
So he kept a commemorative glass.
Did they all make it home without breaking into the suitcase?
Well, they have very,
Yes.
very
what's
strict.
this? Look at the picture. Look at the picture. What's that?
Yeah, that was
Put the picture
That
back.
was over on Jura.
Let's see the picture. What
That
was
was a
that?
standing
That's
stone.
a standing stone. So there are standing stones, Celtic crosses, and these are from the 7th and 8th century.
Wow.
This is Vikings.
Yeah.
We're actually on the island in the back is the island that we stayed on. We took a 20-minute ferry, went to this very isolated island, a population of 200. There's the Celtic cross, the 8th century.
Did you have good weather? It looks in
That's
previous pictures.
typical weather.
Yeah.
It rained pretty much every day.
It did
You
rain.
can see I've got a heavier jacket on.
Right.
Um,
What time of year did you go?
A few weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Just
so
in
Yeah,
September.
we're still
September.
Yeah.
September, middle of September.
And is that about a good time to go, or is there a
Well,
better-
there's not quite the crowds that there would be in the summer.
Sure. Yeah.
But we had a great time.
What's this
we
one,
had a
Lynn?
great time. Oh, I think that may be in Edinburgh. Is that the Edinburgh
Looks
Castle?
like it.
We
Looks
spent 3 nights in Edinburgh. We rented an Airbnb flat.
Ooh.
That looks
Took,
like it would be very drafty.
Well, well, one thing we haven't mentioned, that's in Edinburgh. That's the
That's the
cathedral.
Abbey, right
the
next
abbey
to
next to the Queen's Castle.
the current Queen of England
Mm-hmm.
has a castle when she goes to Scotland. It's right next to that abbey.
That's
And
the
she
old
also has
abbey.
Balmoral, right?
That is
That's
Balmoral.
it.
Oh,
That
okay.
that's it.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's
No,
Honeyrood, honey.
Honeyhound. I don't know.
It's
what
Holyrood.
Because I think
Holyrood,
Balmoral is more of a
Holyrood.
It's
shooting.
the castle is called Holyrood.
Hollywood.
Balmoral is another
That's what
another place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you went there for Rotary, because we have about a minute left, so tell us
Well, we
about
met each other through Rotary, but we
Oh.
went there for the Scotch.
Oh, and the
Scotch.
jazz
To be honest.
I
And the
love the
jazz
Scotch.
There was
Love
we
a
went
Scotch.
for the jazz festival. The Scotch.
That's
was
what we
just a
tell
real
our
treat.
wives anyway.
Yeah. Nod,
was
nod.
Oh, there's a
wink,
cute picture. You guys toasting
Oh,
together.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
How many were
that's
in
in
your
Jura.
wink. How many went?
4.
There were 4 of us.
It's about what can fit in a
Yeah.
car along
Sure.
the road, so it was good. And you also have to have a place. We all require a separate bed, and sometimes separate bedrooms. We do snore some, so it limits the availability, the number of people that can go.
Sure.
But I think it'd be worthwhile mentioning, and it says it right here, that we went unsupervised.
And that is the way to go, right?
Yeah,
Well, most of the
It is
time.
a way
He
to
thinks
go.
it's
Thank you so much, you guys. We've run out of time, sadly, but
Thanks for being our guest here.
yeah, it was really fun.
Thank you.
So when
Too
we
bad
come,
we didn't get to see all the pictures, or did we?
Probably.
I think we rolled through them, but we might have talked through a few of them.
Yeah.
When we come back, I'm going to take you to Nevada, Utah, and Colorado. Say what?
Yay,
Ladies,
Oh, sounds
thank you
good.
very much.
Thanks, guys. That was great.
Every morning you could count on it being there with the rise of the sun. We're proud to say we've been there every day with you. The Santa Barbara News Press plans to continue sharing the news of the day with you all through the year and beyond. It's nice to know there are some things you can still count on. The Santa Barbara News Press, serving Santa Barbara since 1855.
And back on Around the World without Arthur. We miss him terribly, but it's so fun. Martha!
Rebecca Brand sitting in for Arthur, and I'm Martha Bull. Glad to be here.
And Martha is going to tell us about her story to Nevada and Colorado and all the adventures she's on.
That's right.
So,
Well, I call it the John and Martha, my husband, and mine, and Polo's excellent adventure, because,
Polo went on this adventure?
oh, of course.
Oh.
We actually drove.
Polo the puppy,
Polo, the travel dog.
the travel dog.
But anyway, we used to own a ranch in Utah, and so we're very familiar with the drive out there because it takes a couple of days. And
with the
normally-
dog in the car. From
Always.
California, from Santa Barbara,
Always.
California.
Yep.
And you're going to what destination? Where do you
We're going
stop
to-
day one? Because I'd
Day-
like to do this. I'm
well,
a friend in Colorado.
When we lived in Monticello, which was a little bit
What's
south.
Monticello?
Monticello is in the sort of the Four Corners area. It's about 55 miles north of Arizona and about 20 miles west of Colorado, so
All right.
right where these states meet. What we're looking at here, we actually went up through Las Vegas this time because we were going up to Moab, which is about an hour and a half north of where we used to live. So it was easier to take the 15 and go up and go that way. So we broke up the trip by going to Lake Las Vegas, which we had never been to before.
And do we have pictures of that?
We do. This is looking out of our room at the. Why am I drawing a blank on where we were staying? The Westin. And it was beautiful, big. But what really surprised us, it really is pretty, and it sits right on a golf course. Lots of beautiful big homes. That place is so developed. I mean, as we drove out there, because
How many hours from
it took about 6 hours.
Santa Barbara to Lake Las Vegas
to
is
Lake
about
Las
6
Vegas.
hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
Las Vegas is a little bit easier to get to because you have to veer off to get to Las Vegas, to Lake Las Vegas. So it's probably, an extra half hour to get there and back. But it really is. It's beautiful.
Oh, is this the Westin?
Yeah, this is the Westin.
Beautiful.
We because it was kind of the beginning of a long drive and a long trip, we decided to just do room service and we watched Jurassic Park. So that's what we did.
That's a fun vacation.
Then we hopped in the car, and this was actually the
Oh, that
next
kind of looks a bit
morning.
like Jurassic Park with those palm
This-
trees.
This was the next morning when we were getting ready to take off and continue the drive up to Moab. But what we did was we were going to see our son. He now lives in Moab, and he's a tour guide. Among other things, he does commercials out there.
How old is Danny now?
Danny is now 32 years old. I
Oh,
can't
there's
believe
no
it.
way.
Yeah. We
Oh
actually
my
have a picture of
gosh.
him
I've
in
known
here.
him 18 years ago, you know that?
know.
That's when I
It's been a
first met
long
Danny.
time.
Was he like in high school or something?
Yeah.
It was just-
This is Polo,
Oh.
travel dog, and her two brothers, Jack and Hank. And,
Were they on the trip? What the heck?
well, they live with my son. So Polo's brother Jack, the black one in the back, they love each other. They grew up together, and then Polo came to live with us in Santa Barbara.
So they had a little family vacation.
They did
We're
have it. They had a
talking
little family reunion. But we just had a super time with our son. We ate in a bunch of really nice restaurants in Moab. What's interesting about Moab is there are about 5,000 year-round residents, and there are about 2.5 million people that visit there every year. So they are just growing by leaps and bounds. I think they've got 5 or 6 hotels currently under construction. This is my husband and my son. This is like a family album, but he's driving a UTV, and he takes people on these tours up into the Red Rock canyons, and they climb like almost straight up these.
They're climbing.
They're climbing in these, 4-wheel vehicles. You often see Jeeps up there as well. But I swear, you don't think you're going to be able to get.
That's
up
amazing. So
and
it's a
over.
destination for the adventurer.
Yes.
Is it expensive for them? Is it? You can pick any kind of hotel, any kind of thing,
Yeah,
and then you take a tour.
You can also
sign
stay
up
in
for the
motels.
tours?
Or
Oh,
you
those
can
are the ATVs.
Those are the UTVs. They're utilities.
UTVs,
Yeah.
UTVs.
But you can also do trailers. You can bring your trailer, or you can camp. There's lots of camping. There's a lot of biking out there. There's a lot of activities.
It's all
in Moab.
about the nature,
It is,
the red
it's
rocks and the beauty.
It is, absolutely. I mean, everywhere you go, people are, like either biking or hiking or going river rafting, or, it's all about.
But you
that
didn't
great-
river raft there, or
No,
did you?
We came back and we river raft because
There.
we went to Telluride, yes.
Okay.
Because Moab sits right on the Colorado River. And this was actually, for me, in my opinion, a good time of year because the river wasn't really flowing as heavily as it can. And then, you don't have quite the
I know,
degree
the
of,
big rapids,
Yeah,
the
ones
5, the
where-
one's going to kill you.
where
It's like, it's more than 3
Yeah.
this time of year.
But this is another bit of the mountains that were, the hillside next to Moab. And I swear, to me, it was just terrifying, but everybody that was on the tour just thought it was wonderful and it's exciting. And if you go to Moab, you definitely want to check it out because that's one of the things that people come from, all over the world.
I want to go, and I want to take my kids with me
They
because
would-
I want to do river rafting at the time of year when the rapids aren't high. And
Yeah,
what would that be?
there you go.
What's the best time to do
Well,
that?
we were there
with nice
in,
weather and nice rapids.
late August, early September. It was nice.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's very peaceful. And there are tons of river rafting companies that you can hook up with. There's some that are overnight. river rafting. You can, you're doing.
that would be
fun.
Look
And
at
you
the
literally
stars
take
at
all of
night.
your stuff with you, and they have somebody that'll actually,
But you can have somebody pack it all. And you just bring a toothbrush, right? You could do one of those
you
trips.
can probably do that too. I'm sure
Okay.
you can.
Guess
do
a lot
anything
to
you
pack
want.
up.
But then we went up to, John and I and Polo went up to Telluride, which is what we do every year for our anniversary. And I will tell you, the Telluride's in Colorado. It's in southern Colorado. It's absolutely spectacularly beautiful. And this is just sort of the season where you're just coming out of summer, so it's still kind of nice, but the trees are starting to turn and the nights are very crisp and cool, so it's very pleasant. And again, in Colorado, in Telluride specifically, it's all about the hiking, and it's all about, and of course in the wintertime they have a fantastic ski resort that is spectacular, and it's good for people of all ages. What was interesting this time that we noticed, we always stay in mid-station, mid, I guess it's called Mountain Village, and so they've got lots of hotels there, lots of restaurants there, lots of shopping. And this time what I found interesting is that they've really enhanced the summer experience, particularly for kids. They have like these jumping things where you like a bungee jump in the middle of the plaza there, and then they have these rock climbing. They have rock climbing the kids can do, or adults can do it as well. They have these all sorts of courses for the kids to be able, you have to hook yourself up and swing around and do all sorts of stuff like that, and a mini golf course. So it's nice that they're doing more for families, and that's what they're trying to attract.
And families bond so much when there's like a challenge in nature.
Yeah.
And that's so nice that you got to do that with Danny.
Yeah. This is actually a picture of Polo and John, and we were going up the gondola, which is free, which unlike Aspen is like $25 to take.
It's so expensive in Aspen.
And that's your way to get into town, down to this town of Telluride, and it's great. It's also a good way to get up to the middle of the mountain, and then you can walk down. It's because the hiking is just absolutely spectacular.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So you do the walking on the downhill.
Yeah.
It's a little easier
They even
for you.
have sluicing. You can look for.
What's that?
It's where you find minerals in the. It's
like gold panning.
Yeah, gold panning, and so that's also something else that they have for families.
I'd love to do
plaza.
that.
So that's all in the
fascinating.
Mountain Village, and it's just a sweet place. It was starting to ramp up because it was film festival. They have an international film festival. I think it's like year 32 or something. And so a lot of people come in from all over the world, and it got really crowded by the day that we left. We were there during the week, and then of course it picks up on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it's very well attended. And then this is the bouncy thing in the Mountain
Kids
Village.
love that.
The kids it was a blast. We ate one night at Allred's, which is up the mountain, and it overlooks all of downtown Telluride, and it just sparkled, and it's really, really well run. Fantastic food, great menu, and probably one of the nicest wine menus we've ever seen. It was like you're reading a Bible. There were so many things that you could choose from. But I would highly recommend if you're going to go there.
Shishito peppers.
The shishito peppers, and then because it was our anniversary, they gave us a beautiful mousse dessert that was really nice as well.
Chocolate.
Right there.
Chocolate.
That's it.
Oh, yummy.
And then we went back to Moab. I'll just wrap this up really quickly. We went back to Moab, and we actually went river rafting. Danny, we rented a boat, and Danny was our guide, our son. And we probably spent, I'm guessing about 4 hours on the river. This is during a hike. This was a hike that we did. Those petroglyphs, beautiful creeks that we got to walk through, and the dogs just had a blast. So you can't go very far in Moab that you don't find something interesting to do or something fun to see. It's just a really magical town, and look at the spectacular views.
Look at that canyon,
it's just awesome.
and then just the striking rocks.
Yeah. But anyway, so I would highly recommend if you're looking for something to do with your family, or your spouse or a friend or whatever. This is the river rafting, and I think there's one picture if we have it of Dan.
No, I can handle that river.
Yeah. This one was really nice.
Okay.
It was, and like I said, it's very peaceful, and I wouldn't want to go there in April or May when the water's.
What's that peak?
I have no idea.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it almost looks like Monument Valley, but it's not. It's Castle Creek. Anyway.
Well, thank you so much, Martha, for sharing your beautiful trip with us and inspiring us, or at least me and my kids, to go and do that soon, because it looks accessible and easily attainable from California to go do
Oh,
something
you can
really
fly.
different.
You can fly directly to Moab.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Even better.
Yep.
So thank you so much. And then we're going to come back in a few minutes with Tamara Peace from her beautiful trip to La Jolla. And I happen to be tagging along with Tam Tam. Stay with us. Welcome back to Around the World with Arthur von Wiesenberger, who couldn't make it today, but we all hope he's going to come back real soon, which he will.
He's on assignment.
I'm Rebecca Brand.
I'm Martha Bull, and welcome, welcome. We have somebody in the studio that's going to tell us about one of my favorite places, that's for sure. Tamara Peace.
We're going to talk about La Jolla with Tamara Peace. Tamara, welcome, and tell us about yourself.
Well, I am a 27-year Santa Barbaran, and I'm a hairstylist. I've been doing hair for 40 years at Skin Deep here in San Roque, and I love to travel, and that's why I'm here, hopefully, to talk about my travel.
There you go.
Yes, we're so lucky we went on this trip together,
I know,
and we
it was so much
explored
fun.
Southern California, where Martha's hometown is.
Oh,
I graduated from La Jolla High.
oh, good. You can coach us on the names of the beaches and stuff. 'cause some of them,
Yeah. Yeah, you would know the names of the beaches that we're going to show.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So we have a video to roll. Let's roll the video
Okay.
because it kind of tells the story, then we'll talk about it. Here we go. Hi, I'm Rebecca Brand, and I'm in La Jolla, California. What a beautiful day it is, like it always is, most every day of the year here. I've come for a little excursion with my good friends Heidi and Tamara.
It is so beautiful.
La Jolla is the Monte Carlo of the California coastline. The topography is amazingly scenic. There were all kinds of rock outcroppings, beautiful vistas from grassy hills. There was amazing variety in the beach walks you could take between the paths along the top of the cliffs or walking down through the croppings yourself. The wildlife is abundant here. The seal families are so friendly that they park right next to the tourists. It was like getting a first row seat to Mother Nature's bounty. I could have sat for hours watching the seals and all their drama amongst their family members. At one part of the shoreline, you could see the pelicans nesting. At another shoreline had the cormorants. They were everywhere. There's a really neat cave to explore that you enter from a gift shop, and you go down 134 steps to see the most amazing sight of a man's face. And through the face, you can see all the kayakers and the rest of the sea beyond it. It was an amazing grotto to explore. The lifeguard station was majestic as it oversees all of the beaches. And they're all over. It's not just one. There's many of these wonderful respites to enjoy the tide pools, to jump and take a dip in the water, and to just relax on the seashore. There are all kinds of sea activities to play. I even saw some foragers with all their gear going down to spearfish.
Gonna go shoot some calico, maybe get some perch, you know, shoot some good fish.
There are fantastic hotels at La Jolla. I stayed at the Pantai Inn. This is an amazing historic hotel The first building was built in the early 1900s. The decor is like you stepped into Bali. The rooms are spacious and terrific for families. They have a lot of large suites. Ours was a 2-bedroom with a large living room that had an ocean view. There was a cute table overlooking the ocean that we spent a lot of time at, just enjoying the view and relaxing. I loved the shower. It was made of rocks, very beachy. The master bedroom was a 4-poster canopy bed, and the bed was so high quality, I just wanted to relax and jump into it and stay there the rest of the day. But no, there's too much more to explore. I met the owner, and she told me about her hotel.
Hi, my name is Lornie Geruso, and we're a very luxurious boutique hotel right on the ocean in La Jolla. And we brought Bali to La Jolla.
I had no idea this place existed right along the shoreline until I stayed there. The art in the property is amazing. Every one of the murals had its own story. I love the little umbrellas they had and the places to take some shade during the day. My stay at the Pantai Inn was truly impressive. I didn't want to leave. The food and the shopping in La Jolla is amazing. I loved walking down the streets and checking out all the cute shops. One of the shops had free bike rental for an hour for free. So Tamara and I had fun on a little biking excursion. We even played ping pong in the stores. There's a real community feel in La Jolla, from the business people to the hoteliers to the food. Well, let's talk about the food. I had the most amazing dinner at this farm-to-table restaurant called Whisk and Ladle. They're known for going to the farms in Chino, California, and getting the very best of the crops and creating a seasonal dish that's to die for. I had the most luscious, spicy, crunchy Southern fried chicken over beautiful cream corn. Cream corn was the highlight of the crop that night at Whisk and Ladle. I love this octopus appetizer. It was the most tender octopus I've ever had. And they served it with pork rinds. All of the dinner was just delicious. We even met the owner-manager.
Rebecca and Tamara, I hope you enjoy our summer fried chicken.
I think I will. Oh, and I couldn't forget dessert. It was a caramel creme brulee with a little salt on top. Yum. The bar was beautiful, and boy, they had a fun selection of wines. I was tempted to carry on with one of them. The nightlife in La Jolla was amazing too. I found just the type of nightlife that me and my girlfriends liked, which is a lounge singer. He played all the favorites that we loved, and he took requests. That was the perfect ending of many perfect days in La Jolla. La Jolla has so much to offer, and in the end, I keep thinking back to the feel I had amongst all the nature there. I had mainly thought of it as a stopping with the shopping and maybe a beach place, but until you take the long walks on the seashore, out of all the fun I had, I'd have to say that my heart really attaches to the nature in La Jolla. The nature is what will call me back forever. It is amazing. It's something not to be missed. I have never seen a California coastline as beautiful and as accessible as the La Jolla coastline. I want to go back really soon. It's Rebecca Brand, your Santa Barbara correspondent, signing off from beautiful La Jolla, California. Oh, wow, Tamara, what a trip.
That looked nice. It is beautiful down there.
Oh my gosh, we had the best time. It was an amazing getaway.
Yeah. The one drawback is the traffic.
We took the train.
Oh, good for you, smart.
We enjoyed the trip. There was part of the vacation. Going on the train, really talking.
Where do you stop in Del Mar, or where do you stop?
I think it stops.
Oh, it stopped Solano. I think Solano Beach, and then we took a taxi from Solano into La Jolla.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So Tamara, what was your favorite part of that trip?
I think the tide pools. Weren't those beautiful?
The walks that we did.
And then they were almost like little islands, the tide pools. And I remember when I was leaping from one to the other. It was so much fun. It was so playful and fun out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is magical.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, the nature part of it.
Yeah, and then Pantai, where it's located, was just so accessible to the beach right there, and then a great, walk along the shore and into town. It's really a well-situated resort. It was great.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we had beautiful weather.
So beautiful. It was perfect.
It was just such a fun girls' trip we went on.
Nice. And you're smart. Take the train.
From now on,
yeah,
it's the only way.
It's really smart.
There we are. There you are, Tamara, in the hotel room. Isn't that great?
The room was over the top beautiful.
Yeah, that's such a cute picture of
you.
And
spell it again so that anybody that's interested.
Pantai. Pantai Inn.
Okay.
It's beautiful. So thank you for joining us, Tamara.
Thank you for
How
having
can people
me.
get a hold of you to get to know you better, or to have their hair done, or what would you like contact?
Find me on Facebook at Tamara Peace, or Tamara Peace at Skin Deep. I also have a professional page, so either way.
Great.
Terrific.
Thank you
for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and when we come back,
it's the after party with all the guests coming in, and we're going to have some special wine, and cheers to our Arthur.
Stay with us.
The Colossus of Rhodes, the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Just tune in to the award-winning travel show Around the World, live on Thursdays on AM 1290 and at www.atw.tv, with rebroadcasts on Thursdays at 8 p.m. and again on Saturdays at 10 a.m. for the only list that really stands out and can stand the test of time.
Join us at our after party as Martha Bull and me, Rebecca Brand, close out the show with our wonderful guests. We have Lynn, Monte, Tamara, Paul, and Barry. And we're going to toast you, Arthur. We miss you so much. Michael Nicholson, Ken Baxter are our sound and technicians here putting the show together for all of you all over the world to show.
And this is Rebecca's wine.
Oh, and this is my wine.
And happy travels.
There you go.
Happy travels.
Yeah, happy travels. And cheers. Cheers. Hey. Arthur, we miss you terribly. See you soon.
Right. Yes.
Yay.
Enjoy, Arthur.
Okay, I'm going to sip now.
Thank you for traveling with us today on Around the World. We hope you'll join us for another adventure next week. In the meantime, all of us at Around the World wish you happy trails.